Yeah, hi, my name's Kevin. I'm here up in sunny Peterborough doing a course at a company called Progressive Property. The course itself, to me, is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to find something that wasn't too time intensive, covering sort of like a couple of days on a specific area that I was interested in, more sort of customer focused, which meant service accommodation. The course I'm doing was ideal for me. The actual trainers that I've got were experts in their field, I was told, and that has proven to be the case, which I find is obviously ideal for this type of thing. And probably the most important thing for me was that I'm right at the very beginning of my property journey. I've got no specific properties, I don't invest in other people's properties, but I have got friends and family who have done things like buy to let, and also down in the south of France, service accommodation options as well. So it's quite interesting to feel that whether I was a beginner or sort of more experienced, I think this course has probably got something for quite a lot of different type of audiences. I think the main thing for me regarding property or a company like Progressive is that you need to get training on any subject. You can't be an expert before you know what you're getting into. So although I don't know yet which direction I'm totally going to take or whether it's exactly what I need to do, I feel I've got some of the tools, pragmatism from the course. What Kevin, one of the lead trainers here, said is you need to feel comfortable in your gut, that your instinct that you're making for any decision in life is right. And so far I've actually had a very warm feel for this particular option and also for property in general. Enjoyed myself. I think the main thing I can say is they don't use gimmicks, which I think is good for adult audiences. They do give you the warts and all feel about it all, so you do actually hear both the good side of it and some of the downsides that people otherwise would learn through their own mistakes, which is important. And the actual people that are within the course, the other attendees, I think they are, having had a background myself in training, very open, chatty, and we all feel like there's no pressure on anybody. That's what I get as the main sense of it, is that it really is about you find your route, you find what you need. Any question is never too much detail to be asked, and it's just a nice environment. If I get into property, which I'm obviously aiming to do at some point, I think the main reason for me is that I need an income source as well as some growth. I don't have, like a lot of people in our generation, sort of a huge pension pot from the normal sources that was always seen as being get your money in a pension fund. So if you look at flexible or alternative asset types, that shares is one source, property obviously another source, and at the moment I think that property is one of the ways, with the education that's now available, that you can probably think, is there a way you can use property to leverage and achieve some of your goals without being unrealistic? What I found about service accommodation is that obviously most people realise it's a people-focused business. It's hotels and apartments at the end of the day, that type of equivalent. But I think for me, what I would say are the nuggets that comes out of going to a specialist course is the fact you learn things like how to stage manage photographs professionally that are done in the way that a serviced accommodation would be listed. So many people, I think, look at life as being, I can do it reasonably well, I think I've got all the points covered, why are people not booking or being my customer base? A course like this has to be done in order just to understand that you are learning from people all the time. And I think the guys that are doing it, again, Kevin, there's another guy called Gary, and obviously Caroline, Kevin's partner, they've all had pitfalls along the way, but they've all realised now that the way to make us feel better is to actually give us a lot of the detailed knowledge that you wouldn't ever be able to find, I think, without doing something like a course. I think for something like serviced accommodation, it's definitely something that I feel you should get into or is not right for you. So I think it is more of a specialist area at the moment. I think that will grow in the future. Every area of life you must get education. What is different about serviced accommodation? It's not something that you can just jump into and do brilliantly. You can do averagely well, but if you want to make good money out of it, probably the best way is to get a course from people who are specialists in the field.